Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and oh my gosh, some absolutely crazy stuff going on there if you guys haven't already heard, but you probably have at this point in time. And we got some news information with that. We'll be taking a look at the charts. We're also going to take a look at Ethereum as well as with Orchid OXT. And if you guys are new to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe. That way then you know when we have new news information, we do new technical analysis on cryptocurrencies. And if you guys can, if you haven't yet done so, hitting that thumbs up like button really helps out the channel a lot, guys. We're trying to get to at least 50 likes. So whatever you see on the page, if it's not at 50 and you want to help us out and hit that button, would mean a lot. The bell notification, that way then you guys know when we have future videos. And that in mind, let's go into the video. So first thing we're going to be talking about are some key reasons that are being highlighted in regards to why Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high. But we're going to talk about, did it really hit a new all-time high, right? So the institutional interests, some institutional investors are taking on Bitcoin exposure, such as buying into the publicly traded Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC, such as Guggenheim was just mentioned, right? So this is very bullish. You're looking at almost $500 million worth of investment going into a Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Hedge fund managers have a long view. Well-known hedge fund managers are increasingly calling Bitcoin a long-term investment. Paul Tudor Jones II and Stanley Druckenmiller, those are just two very good examples. With Paul Tudor Jones, he said that if you're going to bet on a horse, you bet on the fastest horse. And he said that Bitcoin right now is the fastest horse. Analysts are positive. Wall Street analysts have made positive comments over the past few days. AllianceBernstein, a $631 billion money manager, published a report saying the post-pandemic economic environment could create a role for Bitcoin in investors' asset allocation, CoinDesk reported Monday. Inigo Fraser-Jenkins, co-head of the portfolio strategy team at Bernstein Research, wrote that when it comes to a role in hedging against inflation, the driver of Bitcoin is similar to that of gold. The PayPal effect. PayPal is allowing customers, some 346 million active accounts, to buy Bitcoin. According to the company, the cryptocurrency will become a funding source for purchases at its 26 million merchants worldwide. That is actually expected to be rolling out next year, 2021. OK on OKEX. Data extracted from the cryptocurrency's underlying blockchain network showed some 24,631 Bitcoin worth $500 million at current prices flowed out of the exchange in the 24 hours after the suspension was lifted last week. Okay, so think about that. Saying, hey, a huge statement. This entire exchange moved 24,631 Bitcoin worth $500 million. And we were just talking about Guggenheim, which is looking at investing approximately right around the range of $500 million. So that means that it's essentially almost 25,000 Bitcoin, between 24,000 and 25,000 Bitcoin that Guggenheim is looking to purchase all by themselves, right? And that's not even including if they decide that they want to add in more later on down the road. Because we've seen other companies add into their portfolio further. Look at MicroStrategy, just for example. Very interesting news with that. Let me know what you guys think about that. Next bit, Bitcoin hits new record, this time with less talk of a bubble. Back in 2017, obviously, there was that bubble effect. It went up real high, and when it popped, it went down hard. But it's been a couple years. There's more demand. A lot of things have changed. The crazy cousin of traditional currencies, which fell below $4,000 in March, passed $19,783. More investors now are buying it for the long term. Can you imagine if you got in at the $4,000 range? Oh, wait, I did. But not when I started. Technically, I dollar cost average, but I was able to get like 4,500. I think might have been the lowest that I was able to buy a little bit more in, because I was buying it on the way down too. So I didn't know where the bottom was going to be. And let's be honest, it went down a lot, right? So very interesting with that. Our move came as a result of conversations with government officials and then seeing the dramatic shift in digital payments as a result of the pandemic. Dan Schulman, the chief executive of PayPal, said in an interview, more than 1 million people, 3 to 4 times what the company expected, joined a wait list to use cryptocurrencies before the feature was started. Absolutely crazy. That's a significant sign of high levels of demand, and it's increasing, right? So it outperformed what they were even expecting. Next up, You have a little bit of a focus here going back on the 2017 period in comparison with this point in time. Bitcoin's previous peak was in mid-December 2017. So we're actually pretty close on the monthly on that. I mean, we just hit this and it's moving right before into December. So potentially a new peak, if we continue further up, could lead to middle of December and show just the same thing as what happened back then. Almost exactly 3 years ago, but different Bitcoin exchanges and data sites vary on what that 2017 peak actually was. And this is why I wanted to talk about this, is did we really hit the peak? It's actually kind of subjective, and this is why. Bloomberg, using terminal data, pegs it at $19,511. CoinDesk, the Bitcoin news site, lists it at $19,783. CoinMarketCap, the data partner Yahoo Finance uses for our cryptocurrency charts, says $20,089, while the crypto exchange BitMEX says $20,093, the highest range of all-time high estimates. The reason for that range is that many exchanges give a blended average of market prices from multiple exchanges. Bitcoin topped $19,800 on Monday morning, a new record based on most data sources, but only once it hits $20,100 will all sites likely agree on a definitive new high. So I'm in that boat too. I'm saying that we've gotten very close on it, but we haven't officially hit the full spectrum of new highs. You can say it's hit a new standard here, and we've been saying things like that too, like, hey, Bitcoin hit a new biggest market cap for this country, and for over here, overall in the market cap, we've hit new high with that too. That's great and everything, but the actual individual price per Bitcoin, on the general consensus, we're not there yet. We're very close. So yeah, I think $20,100, we hit that bad boy. Unanimous decision, baby. I don't see any other option there. We hit a new all-time high. And I'll show you on the charts too on TradingView that it's also at a different point too. Now, a suggestion is being said that maybe President-elect Biden should integrate Bitcoin into U.S. financial system. This is from Neil Ferguson. Check this out. Even governments that are resisting Chinese financial penetration, such as India, are essentially building their own versions of China's electronic payment system, said Ferguson, rather than seeking to create a Chinese-style digital dollar, the digital yuan that they're working on. Joe Biden's nascent, I think that's how you say that, nascent administration should recognize the benefits of integrating Bitcoin into the U.S. financial system. Is that even possible? Personally, I think that the world should be backing all their currencies, whether they make a digital yuan, a digital dollar, anything like that. I think it should be backed on Bitcoin itself. Not necessarily that Bitcoin needs to be backed by something else. Why not have it be the backing mechanism? Just like how people backed off of gold, right? So I think that would actually be very valuable. But that's my opinion, my 2 Satoshis, right? What's up, CryptoLark? That'd be funny if he's watching my video. I'd be like, dude, leave me a comment down below. Let me know you actually saw this video. Love your videos too, by the way. You're an awesome guy. And so going on to the next bit here, we're going to take a look at the charts and talk about what's going on with Bitcoin, Orchid, and with Ethereum. So first off, let's take a look at this on the daily. Right now, we are in a bit of red. You can see we had a pull down take place, but a little bit of a retracement back, and we're trying to fight it off, trying to see if we can work our way up still. There was a massive series of green candles that just took place over here, as you guys can see on this recovery uptrend, passing the previous point of high back on November 25th, where we are currently at with the previous day candles. So that had passed it as the formation of a new yearly high. And this dotted green line, you can see that that wick has basically touched it, right? It looks like it's right there. Well, if we keep zooming in, you can see that there's actually a bit of a gap. And there's a reason for that. If we go on to the monthly, guess what, guys? That is touching the line for over here. So in that point, we have actually achieved the previous high. We have not achieved the previous high as of yet. Looking at it from a trading view perspective, if you draw a straight line all the way across, it is just slightly below it, and that falls in line with some of the other considerations. And this is actually, I'm looking at this from TradingView's perspective for Coinbase, and you can see the listing of the Coinbase exchange name up right above my head right here. So it is very close, but not exactly right there. So close but no cigar, guys, until we actually pass over on that. So seeing this starting to pull back up once again, it's going to be some back and forth movement taking place. The RSI is showing a little bit of the overbought side, but hey, we're in a major bull rally. So I'm not really worried that much about the 21 EMA with this. So if we can get above $20,100, brand new all-time high, and then we have nothing to compare it to, baby. But until then, done very good this year, don't get me wrong. And the fact that we're this close than the previous all-time high overall, I think is still a very, 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 very good, strong, stable statement, right? So we want to keep forming new higher highs. Not just high, we want to break above. So curious to see how that's going to continue to further progress out. You can see that this gap has now dramatically shifted itself from the 21 EMA, that yellow line right there. It would have to go down to $11,000. All right? Wrap your brain around that right now. It would have to drop almost 50% to go all the way down to $11,000 to have that be a level of support. And bearish signs tend to indicate a lot more once a crossover takes place on the 21 EMA for a further continuation of downtrend. And so, yeah, there's a gap, like, massive. You guys can just see it right here. I don't think the chances are of that. If we did see, say, like a 50% retracement, let's see, I got finally figured out where that area is. Look at that. Doing pretty good here, guys. So a drop all the way back down from the top of the other candle would be about a 33% full correction over the course of the day. And if we saw a roughly 50% movement on that, which would be right around the 16% range or so, you'd be looking right around $16,600-ish, right? So just a 50% correction from the previous day alone, if that was to try and have a bit of a sell-off there over like a daily progressive movement, might push it around that kind of range. So right now, we don't have a lot to be able to kind of base off of. You can see that there was back in the day, the high, and then the next daily high that took place was at 17,135. Potentially, that could form as a level of support from a psychological standpoint. So 17,000, yeah, like around 17,170. Ish, right around in that range, right? It's very close because it doesn't just exactly touch these things. People want to make it sound like they can count these things to the dollar, and it's a miracle if they actually pull it off, getting it exactly the dollar. So you're very close within that range. Margin of error is enough for you guys to kind of play the game just a little bit, if you understand what I'm saying. By the way, I'm not a financial advisor, though, so everything I'm sharing with you, if you guys want to do more research on this, you want to cross-reference it with other people saying, by all means, more power to you. In fact, I encourage you guys to do so. I don't think it's good that you only rely on one source of information. That's how I build everything that I have, is I look for multiple points of views and opinions on this stuff. So that's with the Bitcoin side. Now let's go take a look over at Orchid and also take a look at what's going on with Ethereum. So with Orchid, we passed above the 30-cent range, which is good. Very good. And then we also got above the 31-cent range, which is also very good, but it's having some trouble trying to maintain above that. And right now I'm seeing some sell-off taking place over on the side with Bitcoin. And it seems like as soon as Bitcoin starts to dump, even if it looks like it's starting to dump, all of a sudden Orchid's like, just dump it, get rid of all of it. Oh wait, it's starting to recover. Okay, come back, hurry. No, not dump it, right? So there's lots of this pump and dump situations that keeps going on. So this large candle up, there was a progressive movement largely down, but it did have a little bit of recovery and establish itself. If this was to have a further full correction down, I would be concerned about seeing it going back to around the 29-cent range. That to me is not a huge significant level of concern. But as you guys can see with previous movement here, we had essentially almost filled all the way back to the baseline after a full rally that took place up. So 2 days of consecutive red candles had nearly bounced out that base level. So if this was to have another further movement down, I'd be concerned that 1 day's movement would put it right around near the baseline here of around right around 30 cents, right? Got a baseline here as well as the bottom of the wick for that position too. And then another the following day would also be concerned pushing right near the range of towards the bottom of this one, right around the 27-cent range. That would also put it much closer and potentially on that new daily actually have it used as the level of support off the 21 EMA. So if this 21 EMA does continue on in this track motion, which it is likely to do because of the fact that we saw these uptrends taking place, then a movement down like so could see in the next daily movement. Let's just say it did go off here. That's not much of a candle that really take place for it to try and hit that level. And that level would be approximately around the 28-cent range, 27.85, right? So just kind of some key levels to keep an eye out for right there. This big box I have is from previous track records, and getting above that is going to establish itself a little bit more of confidence going towards the 0.5 on the Fibonacci retracement level, which would actually be at 0.3380. And if we can break above that even more, then it's another further continuation on to the 0.618, looking at around 37 cents. And then once we would break about the 40-cent level, I think a key psychological point right at that point, then we're a lot more likely to go into a further run. Air of caution though, okay guys? So there is actually going to be more coins that are going to be going into circulation on December 6th. A lot of coins actually. So I didn't have this prepared, but let me go ahead and show you guys this real quick. We are waiting for some very good bullish news to come out about the release with Windows. I don't know if they plan on doing that and coinciding it with the drop of these extra coins. But if we do scroll on down, you guys can see right here, there's 420 million Orchid that's released as of November 16th, identified on their website, and on post December 6th. So not necessarily, I guess it has to be on December 6th, it just says post December 6th. I find kind of unusual to think of. Maybe they're just going to do small amounts, and I don't know what the schedule is for that. That's what's kind of throwing me off right there. But anyways, that's 7,311,000 more Orchid. So if they decide to do it on a monthly basis, I don't know if they plan to, after the next point, post June 6th to 2021, are they going to have all 7.3 million be taken care of and that's all done? And then they're going to do this other 963,000, or is it literally up to their discretion, however long that they want to do it? Obviously, there's still more than half the supply that hasn't gone into circulating movement yet, right? So this chart, the very end of it, the fact that it's labeled post kind of throws me off. If you guys know more details why it's labeled so vaguely as post. Sorry, I forgot what the word was there for a second. Why it's labeled as post, then please let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you guys are enjoying yourselves, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button and the bell notification. Now let's go take a look over at what's going on with Ethereum. Looking at the Ethereum side, it is on some good progressive movements here. We should be expecting the Ethereum 2.0 launch to be taking place as of tomorrow. In fact, ETH2, I forgot to look this up. We can look this up real quick on the news. Ethereum 2.0 staking is coming to Coinbase. Very interesting. Once Ethereum 2.0 is supported, existing Coinbase customers will be able to convert their Ethereum tokens to Ethereum 2 and earn staking rewards. Ooh, I like it. I like that a lot. Okay. And then I wonder what their kind of reward system is going to be. That's going to be pretty cool. Ethereum 2.0, new proposal aims to ease the proof of stake transition. I love proof of stake. Honestly, I really love that idea. The ETH1 data is invalid if the ETH2 block is invalidated. Consequently, Ethereum, and just a little bit more. Ethereum 2.0 deposit contract has enough funds to launch. Okay, so it's looking really good on that news information, December 1st. So we'll probably have a lot more info in regards to the actual ETH2 for you guys in tomorrow's video. So again, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got the bell notification on. You don't want to be missing that. It's going to be huge. Oh, God, I just said it. Anyways, moving on with Ethereum. We can pass above the previous high right here on November 24th at approximately $625. Then guess what? A lot more air of confidence as the next major level of resistance is going to be at approximately $833. And then further continuation up with that. You got another set of key levels such as right here, 874. You got one at 995. You got another point at 1,157, 1,231, and then obviously its highest point there at 1,426. A lot of people are expecting for Ethereum not only to get back to the previous all-time highs, but to 3-5 times higher than that, maybe even more for each individual Ethereum, especially if you factor in, I got a bug in front of my face. If you factor in the ability to do staking, staking takes it off of the circulating supply, which actually should cause it to be a lot more too. I'm going to get that bug. Now, looking at this further, as we are having a little bit of a pullback, if it decides to do a further correction down, we would have the formation of a double top pattern. And this pullback could make it lead all the way down to $530 on the 21 EMA as a key signifying point. Now let's look at it from a monthly position. You guys can see the last month was an absolutely explosive green candle overall. Very little pullback on the top of the wick. So it finished very, very strongly. And where it's going to go to next with this position, it is a little bit hard to say, but if you want my personal opinion, which I'm sure is one of the reasons why you're watching this, if you do the staking system, that is very bullish news. And again, it's just simple supply and demand. So I think that that's going to look very promising in that regard. So the new daily candle as of the time you're recording this video is still pretty new. You can see the level of volume right here is it's scraping the bottom of the barrel. So it's going to be very interesting. No longer a Monday position. With all the stuff that's going on with Bitcoin, though, and that push towards the 20K, and the fact that we are still pretty close, is it going to happen tonight? Are people just going to keep the rally going regardless? Because, you know, like, even though stocks are closed and it's not normal business hours right now, we're in something it's a historic type moment. And I think there's a lot of hype, a lot of FOMO that's kicking in, and people are going to want to not miss out on that opportunity. They missed out on it before, right? And past 20K, we don't know what it could do. There's that uncertainty right now if we're going to have a further correction drop. So if we can establish a new all-time high and hold that position, the air of confidence with everyone will start to be more and more and more and more as time keeps going on. And it's really exciting times, guys. Very, very exciting. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video there. If you guys are new to the channel, once again, please don't forget to subscribe. Drop a like on this video. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to at least 50 likes, at the very least. And if you can, click the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And let me know in the comments down below everything that you guys have as a thought for everything that was said today. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode. Woo! Let's go, Bitcoin!